Hey, it's Kate Stillman, and I'm going to talk about imposter syndrome. This is something that comes up particularly with our wellness pros and also people in awake living who are stepping into next level of authenticity in their work and in their identity, which is often wrapped up in career or in dharma, how we serve and how we come across to other people. So imposter syndrome is a popular term these days. I remember like 20 years ago when I had the syndrome, nobody was calling it that yet. So yay, we have a term. Imposter syndrome is when you feel like you can't step into your own authority, that you're basically imposing an illusion that isn't real to others, to those that you're trying to impress, those you're trying to connect with. So I'm just going to talk from experience with imposter syndrome. Like back in the day, I remember when I first put on the Ayurveda Summit with Dr. Eric Grasser. That was in 2015. A bit of me was like, who am I to do this? Same thing when I released my first book, Body Thrive, which I first self-published, then it was picked up from a publisher by Sounds True. But when I went to write Body Thrive, it was a little bit like, who am I to write down the habits of yogis? Like, we've known them for thousands of years. Like, why? Like, what gives me the right? How do I crown myself? How do I give myself permission or authority? And this is the thing, is at some point you wake up. At some point, especially those who are on the yogic path or the path of enlightenment or the path of awakening, you wake up to the realization, if not you, then who? If not now, then when? And you decide these are my convictions, which are based on these beliefs, and this is what I'm making a stand for. And if you can do that, right, if you can come to your beliefs and your convictions and then make a stand for that, you will not feel like you are an imposter or you're imposing an illusion. The reason is because you'll be standing in your truth. You will be speaking from your cellular integrity. And it's important to do that. There's even standing posture I would really recommend for those with imposter syndrome, which is you stand level-footed, right? Or you sit level-footed and you square your shoulders off and you square your head off. And you're not just like all over the place or like shifting weight from foot to foot or side to side, but you're actually sitting in what the yogis would call samastitihi. You're sitting in or standing in a balanced posture. And you're experiencing your own cellular balance, and you're speaking your beliefs through your convictions in a way that can land and inspire or touch or educate another person. And when you're doing that, poof, imposter syndrome goes away. So the question is, for those of you who feel like an imposter, like what illusion are you imposing? And what's the deeper truth? What's the deeper truth that you stand for? And start there. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be like with makeup and hair done, right? It's just you centered, speaking your truth in a way that you're hoping will touch another human being, will move someone towards more aligned action in their own lives. You're doing so in a way that's true to you, it's true to your experience, and the cellular experience of your own wisdom coming through you is powerful. That touches someone and invokes aligned action. So again, just to recap, if you struggle with imposter syndrome, like what illusion are you imposing? And why is that not you? Why is that not in integrity with who you are? Get clear on that. Like, it's not like when I do try to pretend I'm somebody else, when I try to pretend I'm like a level 3 pose yogi, it doesn't work because I'm not that. I'm more of an intellectual yogi, right? I can stand in the truth of what I know. My yoga in many ways has a lot to do with career and team and business and integrity in these ways. Integrity and dharma and stepping into impact. What is yours? Like, what is your message? What are your convictions? What are your beliefs? And it all goes back to what is your experience? Your experience is there. It's the bedrock from which your beliefs and your convictions arise. So get very clear on that, on who you are and what you have to say. And then say it, teach it, do it, inspire. And from that place, you'll notice that that is enough, that that is whole unto itself. And that is where other people can gain traction with you, where they can actually see where you are, see what you stand for, gain value from that, and connect with you. And what I have found from years of doing this is that like the bigger journey I stepped into, right now I'm stepping into running HealerCon, a huge event in 2021. Many of you will watch this video after that event has already happened, but right now it's on a year before. And I feel that like, who am I? Who am I to put this big thing on? Just like, who was I to write the Habits of Yogis book? Who was I to write an innovative Ayurvedic book called Master of You? Who was I to put on the Ayurvedic Summit? Who was I to first lead the Yogi Detox in 2002, right? No one can crown you except for yourself. So make a little hat, put it on your head, crown yourself, your beliefs, your convictions, your experience to make a stand for what you know to be true, what you know worthy to be upholding, and that's the word dharma, right? Dharma has a container. Da is that root word in Sanskrit. It means to contain or to hold. What is worth upholding to you based on your experience that's formed your beliefs and your convictions. Make a stand for that. Go do something, and it'll allow people to connect with you in a way that you're true to who you are. All right, that's it. That's how you tackle imposter syndrome head on. The more you do it, the more you know to expect it when you take on bigger and better things, right? You just know like, oh, this will come up. This will bring up some of my own insecurities where I'm imposing an illusion. How do I ground in the truth of who I am and why I'm doing what I'm doing? How do I speak and talk from there with an air of vulnerability? This is big. I've never done this before. That's the magic sauce. All right, again, this is Kate Stillman. Namaste. And go get 'em, Tiger.